Hey guys, I'm here. It's Mike again. I'm here with my my hair. I'm here with my second video of the week. Um, I'm gonna be reviewing Avengers X-Sanction number 2. Now this comic had a couple of variants. I didn't really like them. So I just chose the normal cover by I think Ed McGuinness and Dexter Vines. So it's just Iron Man. So X-Sanction, as you know, it's the prequel sorta to the prequel, which will be Avengers versus X-Men number 0. Um, so not much. So it starts off right where we left off. It starts off with Cable. He's talking to Cap in Cap's mind using his telekinesis, his telepathic abilities actually, telling him that like I said, telling him that you know this if you were awake when if you were conscious while I put you in this machine, you would be a drooling mess, so you should be thanking me. He's like, I'm not here to, it's not you guys that I'm trying to kill. I was like, one of the Avengers is trying to stop to harm my daughter. I'm gonna find out which one of you. I'm gonna go if I have to go through you all. So that's Avenge, and his next target's Iron Man. And Cable opens up a closet, and inside of it is an Iron Man armor. Um, we then see, I believe, a flashback of Cable. He's talking about how he wasn't always the best father. For example, when he was sleeping one day, and Hope touched his arm, and she wants to know why it's silver. It sort of moved because it's a techno-organic virus. It almost spread to her. She was touching him, and she screamed, and he woke up, and it scared her. And then we see Iron Man. He's taking down the living laser, and he's telling the laser, what happened. He's like, "Why'd you guys escape?" And the laser explains, we didn't escape on purpose. An EMP went off. Our power restricting collars turned off, and they escaped. The Lethal Legion. So Iron Man takes on the laser, and he goes to find Cap and the Falcon, who are missing. He ends up at the ship where Cable is, and um, Cable and Iron Man start fighting. They start blasting each other with lasers. And Cable has another flashback, I believe, a flashback to when him and Hope were in the future traveling around, and she tries to make her arm look like his arm by covering it, and he sort of puts her down, telling her to not do that. You don't want to be like me, and she's sort of sullen. And then while Iron Man and Cable are fighting and doing their thing. Uh, yeah. Cable essentially tackles Iron Man off the ship and uses Iron Man's own armor essentially against Iron Man. But the problem is that he has Cable, who has to contain the organic virus to his body, into one side of his body before it kills him, has to try and control the armor as well because it's controlled by his mind. And Tony hacks it because it's his tech. He sort of has all the he knows the inner workings of it. So Cable Iron Man sort of takes down Cable temporarily, but Cable reveals he reprogrammed the armor with the Nexani virus that sort of shut down Iron Man's armor, and Cable takes him down. Um, we then see Cable and Nathan, Cable, not Cable, Cable and Nathan, Cable and Hope, and they're talking about the techno-organic virus. And Cable describes how he keeps what it's like for him and how he keeps that at bay. He calls it a darkness at the edge of his mind, and how he always has to subconsciously use his powers to prevent it from spreading. And then Cable and Hope talk about Hope talks about how it must have been hard for Cable to grow up in the future away from his parents, and Cable says if they didn't send me to the future, I would have died. And Hope sort of says, that I'm the same way. You saved me by bringing me to the future. And Cable promises never to leave her. And then we see Cable captured Iron Man. He's put him in one of the chairs that Magneto designed or built, yeah, designed to use on the X-Men. Um, and then, um, you know, he gets blasted in the back. Is Red Hulk. He has a bunch of guns, and he tries to take down Cable. Cable, he starts hallucinating, seeing Hope. Hope made a promise that it would never leave, and the virus spreads to his entire body, and that's where the issue ends. So, in terms of setting up for Avengers vs X-Men, this issue did a great job, and they did a great job explaining. Cable's not really going to kill all of them. He's gonna capture each one, and go through them, see which one poses the real threat to his daughter, and eliminate that Avenger. All right, solid plan. Um, Art wise, no, story wise, continuing. Felt this issue was a little bit rushed, especially since they threw in Red Hulk at the end, and the battle with Iron Man wasn't too. It was okay. It was a couple pages long, but most of this issue was flashbacks and him discussing, Hope, which I don't really mind too much, but at the same time, it would have been more interesting to see him and Cable and Iron Man do a little more armory laser blasting, fights, but a little bit a deeper fight scene. Um, Otherwise, it's the storyline solid. Not much has changed. It's a little bit dull in terms of, the amount of flashbacks. It's about three flashbacks within the book. They take up a couple of pages, but it feels like this is a little bit rushed, and it makes sense. It's a 4 issue limited series that is supposed to finish before the Avengers prequel comes out. So Avengers X-Men prequel Zero comes out in March or February, March or May, or April, whenever it comes out. Yeah, March or April. So it's they're trying to get through this as fast as can, especially when Cable's whole what's gonna happen to Cable, and I feel he probably might die at the end of this. Um, Now in terms of art, I still don't like Ed McGuinness's art. I never really did growing up. Um, it's like personally, I just can't really wrap. I don't like the way he draws certain characters or the proportion he does. People are just too muscular. Like their neck is just like muscular and veiny. It's weird, and it's just weird for me. I don't really like it. I prefer a little more realism in my artwork when I read. In terms of um that I'm sort of contradicting myself. Like for example, like with Humberto Ramos, where I like his cartoony zany style. But in terms of his artwork isn't overly muscular. His characters are just really stocky. Um, but in terms of this, there's just too much muscle. I feel if you tone it down, it'll be a lot better. But the artwork, on the other hand, regardless of my problems with it, the artwork is solid. It gets a little sloppy. I feel when in certain, I feel like during the fight scene, it gets a little bit sloppy. Personally, maybe my shoe's just retarded. It just feels like they sort of rushed it, and the way that they designed Cable with the belts and the armor and everything, it seems it's like too much at some points. Um, Not only that, the one of the cap scenes is a little like his eyes is like I don't know if it's open or closed. It's like really shadowed in. It's like I feel things like that take away from the book a little bit. I mean, that's just me personally. So I'm gonna be giving Avengers X-Sanction issue number 2 out of 4, a 3.5 out of 5. I don't really have complaints. It's a solid issue, but I wish just a little more to it, I guess. Especially with the, it was a good cliffhanger though, but I'm not too fond of cliffhangers. Anyway, thanks for watching. I have one more video coming up this week. It should be out in an hour or two, but from when this video is up, maybe if I get it done. But it'll be up, before the weekend. So thanks for watching, guys. Let me know what you think of this issue on my other videos. Feel free to comment. Let me know what you're reading. I'm always, always like if you want me to review something, post it in the comment section. I'll be happy to go procure a copy or whatever you'd like to hear my opinions on. So thanks for watching, guys. Have a great week.